In fact, my wife texted me earlier, she said, you left the front door open on the way out this morning. Right? I mean, I had a lot of stuff to get taken care of before we even came in here. That's not setting ourselves up for a day of success, is it? So think back to when you were a kid. Right? Maybe your mom did this for you, maybe your dad, maybe somebody else in your life. But each of us at some age in our lives had to go to school, and somebody had to get us ready for school. Right? Who is that person for you? Yeah.
It's my mom.
And what age did you immediately think of when I talked about that?
I was like first grade.
Yeah. And what would she do for you?
She would already have my clothes already like laid out in like a little person, and the underwear were like coming out of the pocket.
Well, that's legit, because first graders forget underwear. Right? And then on the way out the door, what would she do?
She would bless my forehead and kiss me.
Can you imagine that? Isn't that so cool? She blessed her forehead and gave her a little kiss on the way out the door. Right? The problem is that most of us don't have someone in our lives to do that for us right now. Right? Even if we're married, like me, married 3 kids, nobody's going to bless my forehead and kiss me on the way out the door right now, especially if I'm leaving at like 4:45 or 5 o'clock, right?
Well, I do.
Do you?
My husband's a cop, so
Wow.
every night before he goes out, me and my kids, we all bless him, and that's great.
Yeah. My mom does.
Yeah.
Wow. The point is this: if you don't have someone to do that, if you do have someone to do that for you, then you are truly blessed. Right? That's a wonderful thing. If you don't have somebody to do that for you, you kind of got to do it yourself. Right? So that's a key piece of it, thinking about how do we set ourselves up for success coming in every day. It might be as simple as stopping to get a cup of coffee and just thinking about something. It might be as simple as reading a little quote to ourselves, listening to a little bit of music. But whatever that is that's going to get you queued up and ready to go when you come in, you're going to have a hard day. It might not be as hard as a cop, but it's hard. Right? It's hard, and people are depending on us. The people that we said are our friends, our family, our neighbors, ourselves, they need their car. Right? We're going to help them get there, and we're going to come in charged up for it. Right? Awesome. Which group is next?
Hi. So what I'm excited is on our twos, our important, not necessarily urgent task for the day is what's going to help set us up to make everything as an urgent and planning our days as we go. Making our calls, very important. We've gone to call in our dormant dealers that we haven't talked to in a while.
Yeah.
We're making that important as well.
This dormant dealer thing is huge. Right? It's like the easiest thing in the world. It's just somebody who hasn't talked to us in a while. It's not like we have to call and open them up. Right? It's just someone who's previously done business with and we haven't. It's like reconnecting with an old friend, isn't it? To some extent. Maybe in some cases they left because they weren't happy with us. In which case, it's like reconnecting with an angry friend. But that's all right. That's still good, right? So great point, right? Taking the time to reconnect with those dormant dealers, make the time for it, that's huge. Okay, so which group's next? Go for it, Damien.
We looking at this list, there's a lot of stuff that we have as ones that they need to be ones, but also things that are do, like soliciting emails, soliciting dealers, that end up being more important at certain points. So in our view, it would be more of a teeter. So it teeters back and forth. So you have to solicit so you can get funded deals that you have to work on or packages in-house and stuff like that. So it does teeter back and forth.
Yeah.
You have certain things that can be important at certain points during the month, and other things that are going to be more important. So it does teeter back and forth between the ones and the twos.
It definitely does. And that's really insightful, right? I mean, that's kind of what happens. In fact, our day may even go back and forth between the 4 different categories, right? So the idea is figuring out what we really need to make time for and figuring out some creative ways to actually make time for it so that it gets done, especially if it's something like prospecting that really is going to lead to all the rest of our success, right? Go for it, Michael.
So important but not urgent. We had a few of them, and one of them had a negative, so we went in the terms of if we did more of it, what would be the result? So hustling music, that's important but not urgent. It's definitely good for the morale, keeping good, positive attitude. solicit a new business, definitely important but not urgent. We have our current dealers, and doing more of it, we'd get more business.
Yeah, plain and simple, right?
Yeah.
That's stuff that sometimes falls off the plate. That's what we've got to make more time to do. Good.
The last one that's negative is lunch. So it's important but not urgent, and if we did more of it, we wouldn't have to work.